That's why even in his dark state, the Bible says he comes as an angel of light. I tell you that he is beautiful. So all the picture they have been showing you, no, it's his corrupt state. But even in his corrupt state, he can come, he can take on the form of that beauty that God gave him. Just that it's devoid of glory. That is why it is very difficult for the normal Christian to be able to discern the devil. So when the devil is working in the church and using people and destroying the same church, it is very difficult for people to know this one is the devil working. Now, I will show you when Satan is working. Now, the Bible tells us that we are not ignorant of his devices, lest the devil takes advantage of us. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. He says, lest the devil should take advantage of us and destroy the very thing that God is building. He said, but we are not ignorant of his devices. We know it. Say this, I know the devices of the enemy. Do you know that Satan doesn't have new devices? He has old devices. For years, he has used only selected devices. He doesn't create new things. Old devices. All his devices are in the scriptures. They are all exposed. But he keeps using them because he understands the power of repetition. And he knows that God's people will never pay attention. The devil understands the power of repetition. He has no respect for anybody. Haven't you realized that it is when you are even praying that Satan will bring thoughts to your mind? When you are praying that you think that Satan should run away from, that is when he's even bringing thoughts to your mind. He doesn't respect you. That is why even Jesus Christ, on the day, thank you, sir, when he was fasting and praying 40 days, 40 nights, the Bible tells us that Jesus, the devil went to Jesus and started talking to him. Engaged him to the point that he said Jesus to throw himself over the mountain so that angels will pick him up. If he doesn't have respect for Jesus, don't assume that he will have respect for you. He will be coming to you. Did you hear what I said? Let me show it in the Bible. First Chronicles. So First Chronicles chapter 21, verse 1. Do we even have to look at First Chronicles chapter 21? That's powerful. He said, now Satan stood up against Israel. Look at what he did. Satan stood up against the church on the wilderness. And look at what he did. He moved the heart of David to number the people. God had told David not to number the people because he was not supposed to depend on the strength of man. But Satan moved the heart of David. In David's mind, he was doing the right thing. In David's mind, he was actually doing what he felt God was moving him to do. Meanwhile, Satan was the one behind it. In fact, if you read it in Samuel, the book of Samuel, the Bible actually says that, and God moved the heart of David. But it was not God that moved the heart of David. It was Satan that was behind that thing. Because at the end of the day, David and Israel experienced the destructive force of God or the wrath of God. Satan was behind it. One day, Jesus Christ was talking about his plan to die on the cross. Then, Peter walked to him and said, come here. He brought him aside. You know, Peter was older than Jesus. Have you realized that, you know, when you are older than someone and the person seems to be the one leading you and all that, sometimes there's a feeling that even though he's a spiritual leader, you can still call him behind the scene and tell him what to do. So Peter brought him and said, hey, Cratchy. Stop that. The Bible says he rebuked Jesus. Then when Jesus looked at him, he realized that it was not Peter who was talking. Rather, it was Satan that was talking. He said, "Get thee behind me, Satan. Get thee behind me, Satan." So, in the mind of Peter, remember before just this time, the Holy Spirit had moved through Peter to declare that Jesus Christ was the Messiah. And so at this time, he felt that God was using him. And so this particular move too, he felt that it was God that was using him. That's why most of the time in the church, when people are doing things, in their mind, they think that God is the one moving them to do things. So Satan moved his heart to count the people. He counted the people into their own destruction. So I'll show you some key things how Satan fights the church. Number one, he attacks the leader from outside. Let's be seated. He attacks the leader from outside. Now, one of the things that I have come to understand is that no church can collapse from an outside force. But there would always be an outside force trying to fight the church, to destroy the church that we are building right now. So Nehemiah, book of Nehemiah, chapter 2, verse 10 to 20. Now, the reason why the outside force comes is so that the pastor, the leader of the church, will lose his focus. Now, as long as the leader of the church keeps his focus, no church can be destroyed. It has always been the look. I say that if everyone leaves you as a leader and you stand alone with your focus, you will still win. The most important thing is the focus. So there was Nehemiah who had received the conviction and the commission from the Lord to build the walls of Jerusalem. And look at what happened. The Bible says that when Sanballat, look at this. When Sanballat and the Horonite and Tobiah, the Ammonite official head of it, they were deeply disturbed that a man had come to seek the well-being of the children of Israel. Can you imagine this? And look at what they did. Next verse. So I came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. This is what Nehemiah did. When Sanballat and Tobiah expressed their anger towards the rebuilding of the temple, towards the building of the church, Nehemiah did some things that I needed to focus on. The Bible said that he came to Jerusalem and was there 3 days. Next verse. Then I arose in the night. When did he arise? When? He rose up in the night, and I and a few men with me. Later on, I'll talk about the power of yes men. I and a few men with me. I told no one what my God had put into my heart to do at Jerusalem, nor was there any animal with me except the one on which I rode. Next verse. And I went out by the night through the valley gate to the serpent well and the refuse gate, and viewed the walls of Jerusalem, which were broken down, and its gates which were burned. Then I went on to the mount, to the fountain of life, fountain gate, to the king's pool, but there was no room for the animal under me to pass. Let's verse quickly. Let's run. So I went up in the night by the valley and viewed the wall. In other words, he took a view of the place. Then I turned back and entered to the valley gate, and so returned. And the officials did not know where I had gone or where I had done what I have done. But look at this. I have not yet told the Jews, the priests and the nobles and the officials, or the others who did the work with me. Now, I think that one of the lessons I learned from here, even for a leader, is that it's not everything you can even communicate to everyone. The moment you start communicating, it becomes a problem. So sometimes God puts a vision into your heart and he wants you to brood over it for a season before it comes out. Haven't you realized that the day you open up to talk about what God put into your heart, that thing, everything just vanished? Continue for me. The next verse. And I told them of the hand of God. Look at this. The leader told them of the hand of God that was upon him. But my point has been that there was a Tobiah and a Sanballat, if you read the chapter 4, that rose up against Nehemiah himself, the leader, to push him to lose his focus. When the focus of the leader is lost, everybody will sink into the sea. The leader must never lose focus. It doesn't matter the challenges that will come, because there will be pressure from outside. But the leader must keep his focus completely focused. Number 2, the devil attacks the church worker. And that's where I'll focus on. He attacks the church worker so much. Because he understands that a leader without help has no future. He understands that a leader without the people has no future. And so he will do everything possible to attack. How does he destroy the church? He will attack every worker in the church. Every worker in the church. Every pastor here knows that the day all your workers move, you yourself, there will be no spirit inside you. And so, if you're a worker here, the devil is after you. Help me to remember, the devil is after you. Tell the person again, the devil is after you. He is attacking you. He is going to use you if you allow him. He's going to use you. He's going to use you. Look, show me a church that has collapsed, and I will show you a church that was collapsed by its own workers. All the churches where you have contentions, all the contentions began from church workers and leaders. All the church, apart from the fact that, of course, the pastor can have a problem. That's what I spoke about the pastor. But majorly, it's a church worker. It doesn't matter how even focused a pastor is. The devil will always use church workers. He will fight them, he will attack them, and every day church workers are being attacked by demons. Every day. So how does he attack them? Number 1, he attacks them with weakness. They will become weak. He attacks them with weakness. So you find out that the church worker that used to be very vibrant, all of a sudden he becomes weak. He was into soul winning, moving everywhere. Pastor, I will go with you. I will do everything with you. All of a sudden the person becomes weak. The devil attacks his mind, attacks him with weakness. Weakness. And so if you are here and you have become weak in your work in the church where you find yourself, know that it is not your own doing. It's not like you have chosen not to work. It's a demon that is influencing you. You know, sometimes we can feel that it is our own. We have just chosen not to. I'm not going to be committed again. I've just chosen. I want to stay back and see. It's a demon that is making you stay back. It's a demon. He will make you weak. You used to be vibrant. You used to be on fire. All of a sudden, you are not on fire again. You used to be a soul winner. All of a sudden, you are not on soul winning again. You used to be in church on time. All of a sudden, now you come to church late. And it has become like it's a normal thing. It has become, it's like me too, that is my life. It's not your life. It's a demon that is sitting on your shoulder like this. That demon looks like a monkey that is talking into your brain. And I'm telling you, that's how most of the time it is. He's making you feel that it is your own. It is you. One person will catch them and say, "No, I will not do it again." You are a liar. The day God reveals that to you, you will cry and cry and cry and cry. And you ask yourself, where was I all this while? When the demon clouds your mind. Demon of beats clouds your mind. You will never know that demons are controlling you. They say you that used to be on time, now you are not on time. You that used to pray, now you are not praying. You that used to pray for pastor, now you are not praying for pastor. All of a sudden, inside your heart, you feel that pastor has done you wrong, so you can't even pray for pastor again. There's something wrong with you. It's a demon. That demon is trying to destroy your life. He's using you to destroy what you have built over the years. I will build my church and the gates of hell shall not prevail. There's a gate trying to use you to build, to destroy the church. It's a gate. Thank you. And most of the time, the people who become weak are the old members. And if you have found out in churches, you see that churches, one would have thought that when the person becomes born again, his life is supposed to move from one glory to another glory. But after some time, those who have been there for some time, they become weak. And then new people come and new people carry the fire. Don't you think that the old people are supposed to carry and continue with their fire? But then the old people, the devil begin to talk to them, use their mind, give them weaknesses. Then they become weak. Maybe you are here, they even forced you to attend this meeting. Your pastor forced you to attend this meeting. The fact that he forced you is an indication that the devil is making you weak. The devil is using you. He wants to destroy the church, but he's looking for an opportunity. He wants to use a human being because he himself, he knows that he cannot do anything on this earth without a human vessel. So he must use a human being. So first of all, he will make you weak. Go to many churches. Or people who started a church, most of the time, people who started a church with a pastor, now they have become opinion leaders. Why? The devil. So the devil, it's not that they can say, me pa, first no. Empire me born. Empire na because first empire na born. It's a demon that is using you, a demon that is sitting on you. And if the Lord opens your eye to see how that demon is sitting on you, has wee on you and poo on your head, and done all these things on you, you'll be surprised. You yourself, you go and wash yourself very fast. Do you understand what all this weakness is? A lot of time, if that's why prophets can say a lot of things, they can say things like that. A lot of people are entangled with so many things. There's a chain on them. There are people who have this net on them. That's why they cannot move. Haven't you realized that sometimes you don't even understand why you can't even wake up to pray? All of a sudden, body weakness comes. There was a young lady we were talking to. I said, why didn't you come to church? I didn't feel like coming to church. What made you, how did that feeling come? It's not a demon. But I will build my church and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. The gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Anyone in weakness today, we set you free in Jesus' mighty name. We set you free in Jesus' mighty name. You will not be bound again. 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 The chain is broken in Jesus' mighty name. You will serve God with fervency, with passion. Everybody say passion. Passion. Serve God with passion. Serve God with passion. No church leader, no church worker is going to be weak again. The Bible said there will be no weak or feeble person among you. You will not be weak in Jesus' mighty name. You will not be weak. You will not be weak. I said you will not be weak. Brother, you will not be weak. Sister, you will not be weak. Shout glory. The Lord is your strength, you will not be weak. I said the Lord is your strength, you will not be weak. The Lord is your strength, you will not be weak. 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 Listen, we didn't start this thing by ourselves. People started it, they finished the race. Paul said, I have finished the race. I have fought the good fight. You will finish it in Jesus' mighty name. You will finish it. Please be seated. You will finish it. You will finish it. Every weakness in you will just leave. You just leave. Number 2, he attacks workers and leaders with a feeling of neglect. There's always a feeling. He will whisper into their ears and tell them, you have been ignored. Haven't you seen that when this new person came, they have ignored you? They have ignored me. Why is it that now they are using another person? Why is it that they have ignored me? They have ignored me. It's Satan. Satan will just talk to you like that. Because you see, he's looking for people to use to destroy the church, to prevail on the church, to destroy the church. So he says, let me find a human vessel. He finds one leader, he whispers into your ears and says, haven't you seen that when this person comes, pastor has been giving the person opportunity, he has not been giving you opportunity. All of a sudden, the thing settles in your heart. And then you begin to feel that, they have ignored me. They have ignored me. They have ignored me. The feeling of neglect. Luke chapter 15, verse 29. That was what the senior brother of the prodigal son did. The feeling of neglect, they've ignored me. I said Luke chapter 15, verse 29. When the prodigal son returned to the house, the senior brother was on the farm working. When he got there, look at what happened. The Bible says that that young man, went to his father and began to complain. Look at it. He said, so he answered and said to his father, lo, all these many years I have been serving you. I have never transgressed your commandment. You never gave me a young goat that I might make merry with my friends. Because the junior brother came and the father was celebrating the junior brother had come. This man became offended that the junior brother, they were celebrating the junior brother. Haven't you realized that sometimes the devil comes to your mind and talks to you and says that, see, they have ignored you. They have ignored you. People can say, also let me stay back. But you see, he doesn't. Look at what the father said to him. He said, but as soon as this your son came, who devoured all his livelihood on harlots and killed the fatted, you have killed the fatted cow for him. Look at what the father said. And he said to him, son, you are always with me, and all that I have is yours. Sometimes they forget to know that growth should lead to responsibility. You see, when you grow, as you grow, you take responsibility. When you begin to fight the battles with your father, do the work of the ministry with your father. Now your father doesn't even have to instruct you. You just know what you have to do. Your pastor tells you what to do. I tell people, if you have been in church for 1 year, 2 years, and you're waiting to be instructed as to what to do, there's a problem with you. You have not yet grown. Nobody has asked me to do anything, so I'm there. When they tell me to do, I will do. Your pride will take you to your grave. Pride. The Bible says pride. Pride leads the fall of every man. It is pride. They are waiting for me. They should come and call me officially to tell me that I'm supposed to do this. Anyone who wants a title or position before he works is a problem. You check all the people who get titles. The moment they get titles, they become entitled to titles. But real work, they don't work. It's a demon. But I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. They've not asked me to do anything, so I'm in the church. Oh, the pastor knows I can do this, but he's not asked me to do it, so I'm there. You see, most of the time when they say that, they are saying that in the defensive. But they don't know that it's a devil that is whispering into their ears and saying that, look, they have ignored you for a very long time. Keep yourself. Who has ignored you? Do you think that the pastor will ignore you? You think your real pastor will ignore you? No, pastor is waiting for you to stand with him, to pray with him. Pastor is waiting for you to work with him effectively. He's never ignored you. Help me tell you, you have never been ignored. Tell the person, you have never been ignored. Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12 to 14. You've never been ignored. Never been ignored. The work is big. There's so much you can do in the church. So much. I tell people, I say that if you don't have a service unit, you don't know the existing service units or department, if there's nothing for you to serve in, come and tell us. We will create service unit for you. If your own is not there, we will create it for you. And we will guide you so that you can serve. By every positive means, you must find yourself serving in the house of the Lord. Find yourself serving. Don't let the devil use you. What did Paul say to the Hebrew? Look at that. He says, for though by this time you ought to be teachers, you need someone to teach you again the first principles of the oracles of God. And you have come to need of milk and not solid food. You have been with me for 2 years. You have been with me for 3 years. And still, you are saying that I have ignored you. If you have a child and you are feeding the child, baby, are you not expecting the child to grow? If the child is not growing, don't you think that there's something working on the mind of the child? There's a deficiency somewhere. You are saying you have been ignored. Meanwhile, until we tell you to do something, you don't do. Service has started. No, service time is. Don't you have, must you be told that you should go and start service on time? Must you be told that you should go and start prayer this thing? But you are waiting for us to tell you. You say you have been ignored, but you come to church late. You say you have been ignored, but you don't come from workers' meeting. But you say you have been ignored, but when pastor calls you don't pick. You say but you are the one saying you have been ignored. It's not the demon that is controlling your life. When I was praying for this meeting, I saw in a vision that whilst I was teaching, I saw creatures, living people, just living people like that. Living people like that. So I know that many people will be free in Jesus' mighty name. You will serve God well in Jesus' mighty name. You will serve God well with fervency. Everybody say with fervency. With fervency. Yes. With fervency. With fervency, brother, with fervency. The time is short. With fervency. Are you listening, brothers and sisters? With fervency. Tell the person, with fervency. Tell 3 people, with fervency. With fervency. Please be seated. With fervency. If you're going to have a mega church, we're going to have mega churches and all that. Demons must leave our people alone. Say this, leave me alone, Satan. Say, get thee behind me. Tell the person, say, Satan, stop whispering to me. I will not listen to you. Oh. No, you have to stop listening to me. I'm not listening to you, Satan. I have made up my mind. I'm going to serve the Lord. Whether my pastor sees me or not, I'm going to serve the Lord. Because the pastor has only 2 eyes. Except God shows him in a vision. He can't see everybody. And who told you that all the people who work, there are people here in the church, they work in the sanctuary department. If you don't come here on Saturdays, you will never know that they are working. You will never know, but they are working. Who told you that everything you do, Pastor must see? Yeah, that is what they call eye service. So that's when they see Pastor, when Pastor is not there, they'll be giving instruction. But when Pastor is there, that one too is a demon. That one too is a demon. That one too is a demon. Today we are uncovering every demon in Jesus' mighty name. All the demons are living in Jesus' mighty name. Demon. Another demon is demon of timidity. Timidity. You see, we curse that demon in Jesus' mighty name. Any form of demon that try to stop us from doing all that God wants us to do, we cast them off in Jesus' mighty name. Please be seated. I tell you, demons can make you do things. You yourself, you'll be surprised at yourself. You say, so am I the one who did this one? Yes. Because you just allowed him to use you. Because as for the demon, he is looking for people to use. Another thing is that he uses people to drive away souls from the church. Because the spirit of gossip is like a lying spirit. He whispers. When you read in First Kings chapter 22, verse 19 to 23, it tells us something very beautiful. How that Micaiah saw a vision, and a spirit was telling the Lord that he will move like a lion spirit and go and enter the mouths and the hearts of the prophets so that they will prophesy lies. So you see that demons, they can whisper lies to you. And most of the time they can touch it. They use the tongue of people to whisper lies. I met a lady. She said something to me which is very powerful. According to her, she said she has concluded that no person in the church can make her leave a church. Because she said that she knows that in the church, you always find people who try to whisper to you. For her, people have whispered so many things to her. If she was foolish, she would have left the church long ago. It's whispering. Have you heard? 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 Somebody left the church. We are looking for why the person left. We all don't know. Only you know. Please be seated. You know why the person left the church. We have been looking for the root. We have been looking for why the person left. Only you. You are the one who knows. But you see, among us, you won't tell anyone. You know, listen, there's a spirit of gossip. And then, nothing destroys churches like gossips. Have you heard about this brother? What are you doing about the brother? Didn't God tell you to judge your own self? You have no right to judge any person in the church. It's the pastor's duty to correct his own children. You serve your God. Did you hear that? Let the dead bury the dead, and you carry your cross and follow. If you know what it means to win a soul, you will not go and gossip about people to leave the church. Because it is only someone who is not a soul winner that will gossip about people. If you are a real soul winner, you will never gossip about people. There's a particular church I know. The church just went down like that because gossip. Everyone they're just gossiping. Gossip about pastor, gossip about pastor's wife, gossip about this, that. Oh, as a pastor, gossip about this, gossip about that, gossip about this, gossip about that. So for your day. So for your day. Listen. You see, a lot of, and most of the time, people who say that are ladies. And this lady don't want to marry pastors, and yet they want to see pastors. When I talk to people, and I talk to a lady, the lady said, "Me, I don't want to marry a pastor," and that lady wants to talk to me. I block that person. Who should come and marry me? Then you come and talk to me. Block such people. If you're a pastor, block such people, because they are not serious people at all. See, the reason why he's saying I don't want to marry a pastor is because the person doesn't want to commit himself to the things of God. I pray that God will send you. God will send you. This prayer I'm praying for people like that. No, you wait. You may not like that one if you don't like pastor. A lady, I'm praying for ladies. May God send you somebody who doesn't look like a pastor at all. But one day you can become a pastor in your life. Become a pastor. After he has married you now, the person will become a pastor. Then you won't go anywhere. You say you don't want a pastor. You will marry a pastor. Thank you. Now, if you know what pastor's wife go through, the neglect, the fact that the pastor will have to spend time with the Lord and all those kind of things, and you still have to. I think that people who gossip about pastors' wife have a big problem. If you're in a church and you are gossiping about your pastor's wife, a demon has touched you. It's like you. I think I'm prophesying to somebody in this place. My eyes are open, and I see. I'm telling you, look at that. Because it's a demon, but the person doesn't know that it's a demon. That you can even have a mouth to talk. I think, the pastor's wife is, but why are they doing this to pastor? Really? That's why I'm prophesying to you that you will marry a pastor, and then you understand what it means to be a pastor's wife. You, by force, you marry a pastor. Anyone who has spoken against pastor's wife, even if you are already married, your husband will be turned into a pastor. I've already released the word. It will come to pass in Jesus' mighty name. Please be seated. It will come to pass. If you want to talk about pastors, you have no idea. You have no idea. You want to marry Cyrus, you become a pastor. Where's the because you become a pastor's wife? He doesn't look like a pastor, but he become a pastor. So whispering spirit, they can just whisper and be gossiping and be saying things about the church to collapse the church. But my thought has always been, why are you so interested in collapsing the church? It's like people have delight in, today, when we went to church, people didn't come to church. They didn't come. I'm going to call mama. Hey! Just a some 2 months. No, to say a thing like and I said I saw it. And I saw this Nancy. Yeah, so we go this here so cry. It's a big demon. It's a big demon. If any Adamoni. Nancy, I saw it. I said, can I say I saw no? I saw be my jota money. I saw Momo. Now, quite there. Me quite so. Say, we got a man, as a man called on the frame. Is a have to go. You'll be surprised. There are people like that. And there are some people, they will tell stories to church members, but they themselves will be committed to the church. There was a lady here like that. She could tell stories to church members. Hey, she could tell stories to church members. But she'll be here. She'll be here going first person in the church. And the people they are talking, she's talking to, they are thinking, why is this lady behaving like this one? Adamoni. We call it the spirit of serpent. It's a serpentine spirit. It's a serpentine spirit. Are you listening, brothers and sisters? When the serpentine spirit enters your church, they'll be talking, biting people behind the scenes. Your pastor, you are praying, but somebody is biting people. He can even tell people, and I want to pray one year, serpentine spirit. Also, never be a day. Cobra. Every cobra spirit in our churches, we remove them in Jesus' mighty name. Please be seated. You see, when that lady was doing that, I had visions. And in the vision, I saw serpent. I saw 3 serpents. So I tried, one of them in the vision, I saw myself petting the serpent. You know, petting is like you are not killing us, like you are playing with it. I said, hey. When I woke up, I was surprised that I was playing with the serpent. The Lord said, you should have killed it. So I had a dream again. In the dream, I'd killed that serpent. Then, that was when I became bold. And I came and I said, thou serpentine spirits, thou serpentine spirit, take your bag and leave the church. Take your bag and what? Leave the church. Okay, take your bag and what? Leave the church. No serpentine spirit will reign in our churches in Jesus' mighty name. The Lord is building the church. I said, the Lord is building the church. 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 I said, the Lord is building the church. Anyone who whispers into our church, whispers into your ear, from today, I seal their tongue, their mouths in Jesus' mighty name. You will serve God with fervency. I don't know that paying attention to gossips or gossipers is a big problem. I can give you an idea. When you go on YouTube, or probably on any social media platform, and see a nice video, you watch the video, you are like, "Ooh, this is a very nice video." Then, after watching and getting inspired, go to comment section. When you press comment section and you begin to see the bad comments that people are writing there, all of a sudden it's like your heart begins to change. It's like, hey, then I'm here. I hear me say, gossip. Just one word from a gossiper can drain you. Drain that grace. See, it will make the grace of God in your life ineffective. The Bible says, mark such people. Mark them. When we are able to drive away all these demons, serpents, and dogs, for example, Paul says, beware of dogs. Where are dogs? When you go to a house and they say, beware of dogs, where are the dogs? Are they outside or inside? Inside. The dogs are inside. Beware of the mutilation. Beware of dogs. They are biting people. You'll be surprised that the person that you are praying and telling this brother has not been coming to church regularly. You say, Pastor, I don't know. Pastor, I don't know. But the person knows everything. He will go and be whispering to people. Just like there was a brother, Pastor Yoni was sharing with me on please be seated, thank you. Sharing with me in his church when we were there at Penkwase. There were two guys who had stopped church all of a sudden. They were not coming to church. So he and some of the guys were just moving around and going follow up the person. They are all in a team following, Not knowing that the one he was with, he's usually the cause of the one leaving the church. The person had left the church, and at least you should tell me that I did this one to this person for the person to leave the church. He said, "No, let's all go and follow up." So he said somebody will leave church and you'll be surprised this person has left church. But the cause of the problem is with you. It's in your pocket. He's inside. He's with you. What did Jesus say? He said the one who is with me, the one who actually is with me, he's the one going to betray me. So a lot of people who have left church, the owners, the initiators, they are here. They are here. They know. They did something. They said something to the person angrily, and the person left the church. Or they are people they take people's money. See, I'm telling you, there are things that drive away people from church. Our churches, by this time, would have increased. But somebody is behind the scene collecting money from some people. But you see, they can't be open to tell you. So when you go say, "Oh, why have you to become?" Oh, I'll come. I'll come. So behind the scene, one day you hear that, hey, this person. So you see, the person will leave the church and just go because the person really love the pastor's message. The person is gone. You check every year the people that enter church, pass through church, the first timers that come to church, you check. They are always more than the people that stay in the church. And most of the time, when they come, they write that they want to stay in the church. Thank you. And there are some guys too. They seem to be vibrant in the church. When the people come to new girls come to church the first time, till they begin to wait. Now they're mature. I don't know about your church, but our church, we have had some experiences like that. I don't know about your church, me and our church. Now, I mean, can you imagine that somebody comes to say 1 week, you can see light in the person to go and propose. And see, and the moment, I'm telling you, the moment that person feels that, because the person probably has been in the world for some time, now he's coming to church to have light, shelter. Odru ha share. Please be seated. I heard a story. Are you listening? I heard a story of somebody who was coming to church. Someone who was coming to church. On the way to church, he met one person who has also been coming to church, but not that much. The person said, Pastor, I know Pastor Francis. Oh, wow, I've seen you. Wow, you're coming to church. Wow, wonderful. You have become my friend. That same week, the person slept with her. That same week. He used my name to sleep with her. He used my name. When people are using my name to cast out devils, they are using my name to sleep with her. I'm telling you. I'll tell you. That's it. That's it. No, I think it was the same Sunday. Same Sunday. That Sunday. That's why I said when you come to church, be careful of the people that you acquaint yourself with. Are you listening, brothers and sisters? Some people have become weak because they acquaint themselves with the wrong people. I said today, I'm casting out every demon in this house in Jesus' mighty name. Please be seated. No demon will stay in this church again. No demon will stay in our churches again. I'm telling you. I said no demon will stay in our churches again. No demon. No demon. Naturally, I will not be teaching like this, but you see the way I'm maniacal because I saw it in visions. How demons were just living like that when we were teaching. And that the Lord wants to build this church. That we should never allow ourselves to be used by the devil. Because you see, when we say demons, sometimes you know when we are binding demons, binding demons, that demon that you are binding, if that person is close to you, he's the one who is whispering. Until the day you say you will never listen to his whisper again, you'll be free. You'll be free. Haven't you heard that there are some people, the moment you acquaint yourself, when they talk to you small, your fire will go down. All of a sudden, it's like, I don't know how then your fire will just go down. Fire service. It leads me to number what? Number 3, right? Hey, number 4. Satan attacks with familiarity. One of the reasons why a lot of the devil tries to work in churches. The devil first of all, let me put it this way. The devil doesn't like churches where they give honor to pastors. He hates it to the core. So most of the time when people come to church, first of all, they will say that, haven't you heard that in before? What they are telling you is so that they are trying to put in you dishonor. When they put in you dishonor, now your passion to serve with your pastor goes down. The devil wants to enter every church with dishonor. There was a particular church, music people went for a meeting. Pastor was trying to talk to them. One person just lifted his voice and spoke against the pastor, the senior pastor in this city. That day I heard it and said, because if you can speak against anybody, you can't speak against the senior pastor. The moment a person speaks against a senior pastor, it means that the person has arrived. He can never stay in the church again. Dishonor. So you see, the devil would make people become so familiar with the anointing such that the anointing which is supposed to help them cannot help them. So they can even rise like Korah. They can rise against leadership easily. Serpent, Valto, my cobra. Have you seen this one? If this one is your friend. But see, there are many people like that too. Me, our church, our Sonlife, when I see a gossip, I can just remove the person, sack the person from church. If somebody has a weakness, I don't have a challenge, we can help the person. But see, the spirit of gossip, there are 2 spirits that you can't bear. The spirit of disloyalty and the spirit of gossip. Any church that could entertain it will collapse. Any people that can sit together and talk against the person. No. If you entertain it in your church, the church will not stand. Trust me. The church, it will never stand. There must be real honor for the man of God. Real honor for the man of God. When there's a real honor for the man of God and the pastors and the leaders, I'll talk about it later on in the other lesson. You real honor where they honor the pastor. They say they are worshiping the pastor. There's no real man of God that will allow himself to be worshipped. No real man of God. No real man of God. Did you hear what I just said? No real man of God. But if you are a real man of God, even yourself is not there. What is people worshiping? Can you imagine? What is Paul? Paul says that me to live is Christ and to die is gain. He was lost in the glory. You have to pray. You have to pray such prayers that you'll be lost, such that even when people want to, they say they want to clean your shoe, but it's not in your head. It is for the sake of the person. Do you understand what I'm talking to you about? You can never feel proud. I've told people, I said, how can you feel proud? Like Pastor Francis, to be foolishness on my part. I'll tell you why. Be seated. I'll tell you why I said it will be very foolish. It will be foolishness on my part to be proud. Are you listening? Okay. Number one, I have found myself doing some things that I realized that even me, I don't know how I was able to do them. God has given me people that pray for me. There's no single day that I don't have people praying for me. In fact, even when we were at SEC, there was one of our young ladies here who did 30 days fasting for me and prayer. I had no idea. It was when she was about to finish the fasting, that she told me, 30 days fasting. I have ladies here who do every day, every night, 1 hour for me. Like that, every night. I have other ladies, I have people here who do joint prayers. There are people, I can tell you, this number of young people, I can give you about 50 people who every day pray for me. And I know them, the 50 people. Every day, every single day that they pray for me. Now, if somebody is praying for me to be like this, it means that most of the things that I want to do, before I get there, the thing is already done. How can Francis say that it is himself that did it? It doesn't make sense for Francis to even think that way. It will be hypocrisy on my part to even think that it's me that did it. I can tell you. It makes no sense for any pastor to think pride. It makes no sense at all, because a lot of the things God is going to do with you, most of them, about 90 or 85%, you will not have any idea about them. When God really wants to work with you, about 80% or 90% of them, you will never have any idea about them. Thank you. For example, even in the healing ministry, you'll be surprised that in most healing meetings, you will not even know about 60% of the works of God among the few people who will come and testify. A pastor was talking to me about somebody who had, a prophet was telling me about somebody who had teeth removed, right? And restored in his church. Me, I had no idea. If he had never told me. I was there in a meeting. And he told me. So how can, it makes no sense to say that you are proud. You are proud. I can't imagine it. And again, if you understand the principle on the mystery of oneness with God, you will know that you have no, there is no you but Him. There is no you but Him. You are Him, He is you. You have entered Him, He has entered you. You are lost in Him. You are lost in His glory. In Him you live and move and have your being. If there is Francis, there is no Francis. There is God. Are you listening, brothers and sisters? How can Francis to be proud? It makes no sense. It doesn't matter what people say to me. It's never got into my head at all. It can't get into my head because it is already registered that the thing is not by might, not by power. It is by the Spirit of God. That's what God told you. When people are proud, I feel that they don't know Jesus. If you know Him, you will never be proud. Never. Somebody asked me, somebody asked me, okay, so this building that you have built, when you see, how do you feel? I said, no, sometimes people ask questions like that. I'm saying, look, genuinely, if I should tell you that if we had money for any of these buildings, and if you tell you our income inflow every month, you will tell us that. You ask us one question: who sponsors you? That's the question you answer. You answer who sponsors you. You can go to the accounts, but they can tell you that. So, if those things are there, and we've been able to, because to put up the roof plus the parapet and this one, currently they are trying to finish these ones there and all that. Now we have crossed 1 million for the roof and the parapet. Now, when we said we were going to do it, that 1 million, there was no, even 10,000 was not there. When I was telling Pastor that we were going to put the roof on it, 10,000 was not there. And 10,000 was not there. And how are we going to get that 1 million? And to think that Francis did it Francis is only a pastor. I can tell you that, are you listening, brothers and sisters? I can tell you that if a pastor can be proud, I think that he is of himself. A real pastor, he is of himself. Please be seated. If I tell you how God can supply some of the needs of this work, you will never say that it is a human being strength that did this one. So for any human being to say that he is proud because he has done this one, it's like he doesn't know God. And I don't think you know God. You can't be proud. I think you have to learn to get lost. Do you hear that? We have to be lost in Him. 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 Lost in Him so that there is no flesh. No flesh shall glory in His presence. We must be lost inside Him where we can't find ourselves. How can somebody come and tell you that God spoke, an angel of the Lord visited me to give you this? Angel of the Lord visited me to give you this. Angel of the Lord visited me to give you this one. And you can say that it is you that did it. When the angel was visiting the person, were you there? How can you say that it's you? It makes no sense. Listen, look at them. I can tell you some things that it's just sometimes they're incredible. I was at home yesterday. I was it 2 days ago. Was there? I had this inner shaking in my spirit that I should meet someone. Okay, so I said, right. So I'm meeting at Elizabeth. Meet me there. At Elizabeth. So I went and sat down. And he came around. So whilst we were talking, I said that I don't know why the Spirit of God said we should meet, but this and that and that and that about your life. I said, all right. I said, all right, I'm supposed to give you, there's something that I have received. I'm supposed to give you a personal tithe of something. I said, all right. Whilst I was there, the person said 20,000. That's what I'm using to do the work there today. I mean, that's what that's why we had the boldness to call the man to come and finish the work. So, can you say that this one is Francis that did this one? I said, if you have pride inside you, you are beyond redemption. You cannot be proud. Could you please lift up one hand like this? Say, Lord Jesus, no pride in my heart. No pride in my heart. Yes, no pride. No pride. No pride. No pride. I said, no pride. No pride. No pride. I mean, so Where was I when I started talking about pride? Yeah, familiarity. You know, some people, they can be familiar with leadership and they can take on men like Korah. When you read the Bible, there are two major people who are major rebellious in the things of in leadership. Number one is Satan. Number two is Korah. Number three is Absalom. But these two, Satan and Korah, they are of the same rank. Because Satan stood against God. Korah stood against Moses. God said that if there was any prophet on this earth, Moses, I speak to him face to face. So familiarity, the devil wants us to be so familiar with our pastors that the pastors will become ordinary people in our eyes. That's how come a pastor's birthday can become a problem for somebody. They are celebrating the pastor, it's a problem for the person. You will not celebrate the person. Somebody is celebrating to, it's a problem for you. You don't know that it's a demon that is controlling you. It's a demon. Help me tell your neighbor, don't allow the demon to control you. We are casting out all these devils. All these devils. You know that when churches become orderly, it is easier for growth to take place. Before the glory will come, there must always be order. In some places, the pastor will say, brothers, it's never like that. We are all brothers, but the pastor has been set by God to lead you. Do you get what I'm talking to you about? It's been set by God to lead you. The more you call him brother, the more you lose the blessing you're supposed to lose. The Bible says if you receive this one in the name of a prophet, you receive the gift of the prophet. If you receive him in the name of brother, you receive the gift of brother. Brother, the value is not the same. Sister, the value is not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. When you leave this place and you go to your church, let everybody know that you honor your pastor to the core. And I tell you, listen, Pastor Love, we have been talking about this for some time, where you've been encouraging people about honoring their pastors, even with their pastors' photos on their statuses, their programs on their statuses and all that. Listen, that thing you have been talking about is so powerful that I've had people looking to see me just because people put my posters and my pictures on their statuses for a very long time. And they want to come and say, hey, this the way you celebrate your pastor, I want to come and listen to your pastor. People don't know that it's a way of evangelism. And people dishonor human beings such that if they see that you are honoring somebody consistently, they begin to see that there is something unique about that person. Let me go to that person and receive. But you see, when you go to your house, in your own house, you dishonor your father. Your own biological house, you dishonor your father. All your friends will dishonor your biological father. But when you honor your biological father so well, all your friends, they will say, they begin to honor the person. Honor the person. Honor the person. Thank you. You see, when our pastors, I think Pastor Bosman was the one who was invited by Pastor Church. One of the things Pastor Church did for me in our ministry is honor. Now, it's my backbone, my direct backbone, 5 years older than him, I think so. But even before I became born again, this man will wash my things. He told me that, in fact, when he was even smoking weed, he used to smoke weed. Ganja everywhere. I will go out to go and preach, do dawn broadcast, and he'll be standing by my side, and he'll tell me that he was born to protect me. At dawn broadcast, and he'll be standing by my side to protect me. Imagine that our pastors came and met him dishonoring me. They wouldn't have known what it means to honor a person. You that is dishonoring your pastor, you are showing somebody how to dishonor your pastor. How to dishonor your pastor. How to dishonor your church. And you see, on the judgment day, a lot of rewards we are going to receive. We will not know why God is giving us the reward. You are honoring your pastor. Because of the honor you're giving to your pastor, people are coming to church and they can sit down and receive. That one too, you are actually establishing people in the house of God. The opposite is also the same. You are dishonoring your pastor. That means that you are driving away souls. On the judgment day, God will say that because of you, these souls left the church. Because of these people could not become strong. And then God will ask you a question. Why did this one leave the church? You ask God, why are you asking me this question? Because I never asked this person to leave the church. God will say, your attitude drove away the person from the church. Your attitude. People don't know that the attitude they put up, it has replica effect. Look, I tell you, you stand here. Stand there. Pastor, stand there. You can please be here. You face each other. Pastor, please come stand there. You see this one? You meet her. You become angry with her. Kind of. Good. Now she also gets angry. And then she moves around. You see the point? She also gets angry. He also gets angry. He also moves with the same anger. Now he continues with the same anger. Now who caused the anger? It's not this guy that caused the anger. But you see, he doesn't know what he did. He doesn't know what he did. But what he did is now moving, transferring to places and transferring to places and transferring to places. Anger and anger. So somebody will say that, but this small thing I did in the church, Pastor Pa, why are you saying this? It's not, you in your mind you think it is small, but it was a seed of anger you put in, a seed of gossip you put in here, a seed of betrayal you put in here, a seed of dishonesty you put in here, a seed of dishonor you put, and you have placed that same seed here. You have transferred it here. You have transferred it there, and you'll be going everywhere, everywhere. That's why Jesus said, allow, even talking about false prophets and corrupt prophets, he said, allow the thing to grow together. When it grows, he said, when the time comes, he will separate them. Because the more you sit on the radio and say, this one is a false prophet, this one is a false prophet, this one is a false prophet, it goes against everything, every church. Most people left church when Kennedy Japan came to the stage to come and talk against false prophets. Even some of us here, we doubted prophecies. Because the man was speaking against false prophets. And when he was speaking against false prophets, it was cutting across everywhere. A lot of people left churches. They never went to church again because they felt that pastors were scammers and everything. But pastors are not scammers. When you say you are, as for me, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. Truth that is not told out of love is not truth. It is false. As for me, I'm telling the truth. As for me, I'm telling the truth. The truth you are saying, is it truth at all? The church, me, I can say my mind. Me, I can say my mind. That's your mind you are saying. Jesus said, let this mind be in you, which is the mind of Christ. Where is your mind? To remove your mind and put in the mind of Christ so that the giants will leave you. Are you listening, brothers and sisters? Put the mind of Christ inside you. When you put the mind of Christ inside you, you will not go and gossip. When you put the mind of Christ inside you, begin to honor people. The mind of Christ honors people. The mind of God honors people. Thank you. See, growing up and leading people to pray, most of the time, anytime we were together to pray, and I said that, I always remember in those days, anytime I said that, today the empire doesn't my bro. The moment I say, I feel tired. I'm the leader. The moment I feel tired, it begins to spread across. And everybody will say, only a motor is being point. And then we see the point. Meanwhile, we went to pray for about 3 minutes. 3 hours. But I will say, I feel tired. But if you feel tired and you say that we are strong, today we are going to pray. As for today, we will pray. As for today, we will pray. As for today, we will pray. Before you know, everybody is strengthening and everybody is praying. One of my sons told me that. He said he was with a Muslim guy. And the Muslim said that. The Muslim has been calling this particular pastor for some time. Concerning his I think it was car or something like that. But the person anytime he calls him said, oh, I'm sick. The Muslim guy said that also obey Christiania and go and ask for your sorry. So for the friend also or yare there. Uncle Monia, I know, was on course also be that because often there be a soft so yare. That is why even as a pastor you have to be careful what you say. Because you need to be a emre from Kwana be produce. You are strong. Let the weak say, I'm strong. Say, I'm strong. I'm strong. I'm strong. I'm strong. Say, I'm strong. I'm strong. I'm strong. You know, we are going to have great churches. How many of us really love our churches? Be on your feet now like this and lift your hand towards heaven. If you love your church, say, I love my church. Say, I love my church. Mention the name of your church and say, I love Sonlife. Yes. Brother, mention it very well though. Say, I love. I didn't hear you. Say, I love. Say it, I love. But do you have a pastor? You have a pastor, right? You have a pastor. Do you love your pastor? Do you love your pastor? Say, I love my pastor. I love my pastor. Lift your hand like this. Say, Pastor, I promise you, I stand with you in the ministry. The demon will not stay. I want us to pray for our church right now. There are some of the brethren who couldn't even come, who are becoming weak and all that. But today the fire of God is moving everywhere. It's moving everywhere. Do you sense the power of God in this place? Say, the fire of the Spirit is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Who doesn't speak in tongues here? Who doesn't speak in tongues here? You don't speak in tongues. You don't speak in tongues. The person didn't come. You don't speak in tongues. You don't speak in tongues. Ooh. I'll get to you very soon. You don't speak in tongues. You didn't speak in tongues. But do you want to speak in tongues? It's very, very simple. You know, let me just explain this. We're going to pray for 2 seconds. Okay, pray in tongues for 2 seconds. Are you ready? You will play this one, this one for me. Yes, the way you play it very well. Let this place be Oja, okay? You know Oja? Huh? Something. I don't know whether it's the strings or Oja. I want something. I want this place to be fire. I want this place to be fire. You know, the Holy Spirit is here. He's here. He's here. He's here. He's here. He's here. Say he's here. Say he's here. He's here. He's here. Say thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Rako seketenema santalabayala. Pray in tongues now. Makotele bakatala. Rakabako seprotinemende. Rakabako. Liko seketenemanda. Rakabako satalaba. Pray over your church. Rakabako satalaba katalaba. He's taking over your